turn on the actual.
Hello there, and welcome to the Wylders game. My name is Dave Wildson. Here are the Wylders. There are all the players around the table. Everybody say hello.
Hello, hello.
So the Wylders game is a role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, that style of game. And we play most Wednesday nights if we've got the time to do it. And these guys are outlaws in a D&D world, basically. Let's go around. We're going to do real quick introductions like we usually do. I plan to... I'm going to just say hello to Thaddeus. Hello there, Mr. Thaddeus.
Hello, my name is Ian Little, and I'm playing the role of Thaddeus Poindexter, Dr. Thaddeus Poindexter,
Yes.
a physician.
A physician.
Yes, a physician.
Spelled R-O-G-U-E. And here, hello there, Miss Smith.
Hi, I'm Josephine Smith, played by Amanda. I am a sharpshooter. I shoot a long rifle who I have lovingly named Mabel. I've got my pistols.
Get them out of the holster.
Ready.
Is that pistol packing mom?
That's a slow draw as opposed to a fast draw.
I got tangled. And my companion is a 6-foot-tall direwolf named Bear, and he is lovely.
Such a good
He's
A good boy.
He's a very good boy. All right, how about you? Hello, Miss Lavinia Rose.
Well, hello there. My name is Lavinia Rose. I am one of our team's healers, and I also am in pursuit of removal of undead.
Okay, your camera's off a little bit. Josephine, can you help straighten her camera while she sits there nice and...
Let me just see here.
So our cameras are adjusted by our cat.
Yes.
Yes.
That is exactly right. Our cameras are adjusted by our cat damn near every day, every week.
How's that?
That's great. Looks much better.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, super. Okay, let's go on to Percy Red Feather. How are you? Oh, you
goodness,
need to
I'm
be
way off.
straightened too.
There we
A little more. That's good. That'll do.
That's good. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm Percival Red Feather.
Microphone.
There's my mic too. And now I've thrown the camera off.
Oh, that's why it was cricket.
That's why, because the cat threw off the microphone and with it the camera. Percival Red Feather, played by Robert Woodbury, and I am the company of the outlaw Pathfinder, half native ranger, and I have been cursed by a tiger demon to become a fearsome tiger, half tiger, half human when in battle, and that's about all I know for now.
Tip your camera down a little bit, Rob. It's got a lot of sky.
It's cutting off my head.
Okay. Dave, let me just interject here that the new way that you've streamed,
Yes.
that means that the people who were watching the stream on Twitch, I had to reload it because there's a message here from the Pink Captain. Did it freeze or no game today? So, yeah. So I reloaded it, and I just mentioned to him, just reload it, but...
All right. Well, we'll sort it out. And hello, I hear a raven going caw-caw. Hello, Mr. Raven Alexium.
Good day. Yes, that's me, Raven Alexium. This is my familiar Drema, and I am a wizard, and I have a minor in alchemy. And I'm also Glenn LaValle when I'm not wearing this mustache.
How many
Okay.
mustaches do you have?
He doesn't have the natural one like I do.
I have a box of them, but this one is the most convenient because I have it.
It's my favorite one.
Perhaps one night we should all wear mustaches.
It'd be like my family reunion.
Let's try really hard not to.
I feel like that Saturday Night Live Christopher Walken sketch where they all talk like Christopher Walken. That's great.
Okay, so before we jump into the game, I'll do a quick review of that.
Who are you?
I'm introduced myself at the beginning. I'm the game master, Dave Watson. Before we jump into the game, I'm going to do a little bit of current affairs because we've got some good news with some of our players. So we have congratulations in order today to 2 people. First one's going to be Josephine Smith, also known as Amanda. Congratulations to Amanda on her new job.
Hey.
Huzzah, huzzah.
Yes. She got a brand new job, full-time now. And so she's super happy about that.
Very happy.
Nice.
Second congrats is going to be to Mr. Raven Alexium, Glenn LaValle in real life, because where were you last week, buddy?
I was at the Twist and Shout convention in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. So Twist and Shout, for those that don't know, Glenn is a professional balloon artist. He does decor and decoration balloon stuff, but he also specializes in amazing fantasy balloon costuming. And we've on our stream, we've showed before some of the stuff that we've done over the years at different festivals, but he has also gone to Twist and Shout, which is a balloon convention, to compete, right?
That is true.
So I got your video here. Can I show the video? We're gonna
Certainly.
jump over to Facebook. Boo, boo. Here we go. And check this out. This was last week. Glenn made a beholder. And that is him underneath in his robe. You said that robe's actually made out of balloons too, right?
It is.
Those are big sheets from giant balloons that have been broken balloons that have been recut to make a
And your wife
priest's
made
robe.
it, right?
My wife and I made it, yes.
And he's got a backpack on, and then he's got this beholder above him, and that is, you lit up the eye too, right? All the eyes on it.
Yep. Well, each one casts a spell.
That's right, because if anybody knows about D&D beholders, which you should if you watch our stuff, then you'll know. Here we go. We're going to play this video. Look at this thing. Look how the eye moves. The jaws open and close.
It was very scary.
Yeah.
That's quite overwhelming. That's wonderful.
So if you actually see a beholder, it's a bad thing.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
You don't want to see
You're
a
not going to
beholder.
survive an encounter with a beholder
The
most
only time
times.
we encountered a beholder and survived, we teleported the rogue underneath the beholder and it stabbed upwards. It was kind of a cheat move, I know.
If it works.
It worked.
Well,
With
the
our
only
group?
way you're going to live through it.
No, this is like 30 years ago.
All right. So there we go. So congrats to Glenn because that was first place, right? You won first place in costume. And you also, you won a second thing as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I won second place in medium sculpture with an accordion.
With an accordion. Okay, let me see if I can find that too really
That's
quick
pretty
here.
cool.
Posted on his
I saw the
personal
accordion.
page.
It
Yeah.
was nice.
I got it. Here we go.
Surprising number of people play an accordion. I didn't realize that.
So there it is. There's the accordion. This was a medium-sized sculpture, so it's got to fit what in a 3 foot by 3 foot box. Kind
That's
of
right.
thing?
Yeah.
And and took second place. So congrats to that, coming
Nice.
home with 2 prizes.
done.
Yes,
Thank you very
gorgeous.
much.
Nice work.
Okay, let us go.
He reloaded and is working fine now.
That's fine. We're going to probably end up still doing the thing to get rid of the starting soon every time.
Okay.
So it's going to freeze and then you hit a reload every time probably. Although I would have thought it would have auto refreshed for him. That's what I'm confused
No,
about.
he was stuck on the stream ended part. Like that's where what it was coming out for me.
That's
This is only on
weird.
Twitch. On YouTube, it continued.
On YouTube is fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, hi, Brother Silver, who says good job, Glenn, and hi, Pete, who's joining us on YouTube.
Hey, Pete.
Hey,
Hi.
Pete.
Hey,
Good to
Pete.
see you.
Hi, Brother Silver.
Pete, I'm going to give you a call this week, actually, and just to catch up and see how you're doing and what your plans are. Okay, let's go back to the game. And we're going to put some screens up in the back. I'm going to just refresh everybody's memory on exactly where you are and what you're doing. We played 2 weeks ago. And you are currently aboard Let's see. Share your entire screen. We're going to share this one.
Good grief.
We're going to share this one. So here it is. This is the adventure screen. There we go. All right, that's good. So you are currently aboard the Minior, which is a flying skyship from the Anua Nation. And the captain of it is this great big ebony-colored guy called Marduk. I don't know if I showed this image last time. This is an image of the crew, some of the crew of the ship. And you guys would be a little bit bigger than that bucket.
Yep.
Just above their knee is how big you'd, because they are sky giants, right? And you are headed westward. Actually, you are flying a little bit southwest to the mouth of the Picatana River, because the ship that you're going to be going on is going to be going up that river, right? So here's the, let me see if we can, hey, go. There we go.
Does everybody remember the plan?
So we spent the last game, here's the map, and we spent the last game, right now the ship that you're on is headed to this area. Sorry, I've got problems with screens on my with my multiple screens here. Okay, you're going to be, this is going to be your destination, is right down here. And how come the adventure screen didn't update? Oh, there we go. Okay. That's going to be your destination. You're not quite there yet, though. You still have a day and a half travel to get there. So you are headed southwest. Below you is a very swampy area and quite desolate. Your plans for your mission, do you guys remember them? Let's talk about that. What's your plan for the mission?
Well, I believe we had to cast all the spells first, and we were going to drop onto the deck.
Not all of us.
Not all of us. And we were going to very quickly get as low as we could with that
Into the hull.
detonation device, as low as we could down into the ship, and then remotely detonate it using what were you going to use to detonate the hand?
Yep.
Using mage hand.
No, he was going to use his
flaming arrow or
familiar.
Drama's going
familiar.
to cast
Dream
the
is
spell.
going to do it.
Hey, Rob, you still got a lot of sky. You'll need to
Oh,
tip
sorry.
your camera up a little
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah, that's a lot better.
A little
Thank you.
better? Okay, good.
Okay, so, all right, so you have got to still put the shards on the outside of that jug if you're going to actually make that flaming jug of moonshine into an effective bomb to carry it down.
Yep.
So you have to do that, and you have to then lash it with ropes with a couple of handles.
Yeah.
Marduk doesn't want it on his ship, so he said that you are going to, he's got it out on a plank, a pole, out on the front of the ship. You're going to have to shinny out there, roped up, to do the job. So he brings out the smallest bucket he can find on the ship, which is still way too big for you guys, with pitch in it, and a brush for you, and says, okay, here you go. Provides you
agile and small, so
Yeah, I can do that.
all right.
you're agile. Well, what about you, Josephine Smith? Don't you have a brand new feat?
I do.
Yes, she does.
I do. I added, let me read it to you guys. It's kind of fun. I figure since we're going to be aboard
A ship.
airships. Oh, where is it now? Skill feat. Rope runner.
Ah,
Oh,
You run and jump across ropes and rigging almost as easily as on the ground. You gain a speed feat of 15 feet, but only when climbing ropes and similar objects. Whenever you succeed at an athletics check to climb or an athletics check to balance, you get a critical success instead. You aren't caught off guard while climbing or balancing on a rope or similar object. So I have that.
All right, so that should give you some superior
Like,
balance to go out there.
Do we want to work as a team? Because probably it shouldn't just be one person out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to take two of you because we're talking about being on either side of it, tossing ropes back and forth, and being careful not to fall to your death.
And I've got pretty good acrobatics.
Okay,
So one of the crewmen comes up and drops a bundle on the deck for you right at the front of the ship, and it's got a whole bunch of these broken iron shards that they have pounded out of some kind of small pot that they had and broken it up into metal bits. And you've got your tar, you've got your brush. They find you the smallest brush they can, which is still a pretty big brush for you. And they've got a bunch of ropes for you, which is what this picture was all about that I did of the crewmen here on the adventure screen. So this was the whole idea behind this was them rigging up a bunch of ropes for you to not only secure you so that if you fall, you don't end up falling right off the ship, but also for you to be able to take some rope out to lash up the
We can be harnessed or
Yes.
a safety, fall safety.
Yeah.
Dave, can you just read the last message on that chat there?
All right, let's see. Okay. So, the Pink Captain says, "Can I ask you guys to wish my dad a happy 82nd birthday?" Ooh. You're playing
Shall
this
we
in the
sing to him?
background while we celebrate it. What's his name? I wonder what his name is. We're going to call him Dad, I guess. All
Sounds
right.
good.
Shall we sing?
Yes.
Here we go. We're singing to him. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Congratulations.
Happy 82nd.
Colin. His name is Colin. Congratulations, Colin.
Congratulations. Happy birthday, Colin.
82 years young. Good for you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Hope you have a great birthday. And
Yes.
it's great that you guys are celebrating it tonight and that you still got the game going like that. That was very kind of you, Silva, to do that. All right. So you guys are going to rope up and go out there.
Yep.
Roll acrobatics with a D20. And you've got acrobatics on your sheet for whatever your bonus is. Add that to see how successful you are.
19.
Well, I guess that's not a problem for you. Yeah, that seed is luckier for him than the seed.
Oh no,
over
I
there.
didn't roll well.
Oh.
But I've got plus 14.
Oh, so it's not 19 on the dice.
Yeah.
It's 5 on the dice.
I also rolled a 19. 7 roll plus 12.
Okay, all right. Still good enough for you because you don't have any problems. You don't fall off. No gusts of wind blow you off. You're not hanging off the side of the ship. But you're out there and it takes you about an hour to patch it all up the way that you want to. Bundle a cloth that you had to undo that was around it to tar the shards onto this ceramic jug, and then tie the cloth around it, then lash a almost like a net, a network of light rope around it with a couple of rope handles so that you can carry it. Other things that you guys were planning on doing during I know Raven had he had 2 days to do something. What was it you had to do, Raven?
I was creating a striking rune on Mabel for Josephine.
Thank you.
That's
yes.
right. Mabel is Josephine's gun, right?
That is,
Well, lo and behold, which is French for high and behind, if you have a look at Mabel's gun, it now shows. Here, we'll go and
Actions.
we'll have a look at here. If we go to Mabel If we go to Josephine, we go to actions, and we go to Mabel, and we look at damage. Damage now says 2d10 plus 2 piercing plus 1d4 fire, which means that the maximum damage that she can now hit with that is 26 points per shot. That'll blow a hole in something. And the minimum damage that she can do, if she rolled 2d1s, she's still going to do 8 points of damage.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty seriously
yes,
great.
and I did promise you an exchange of gems. So if you just want to add them to yours, and I'll take away from mine.
Okay, how many do I get?
600. I told you you could have 600 because
There you
it's going
go.
to benefit us. So you buying these spells. So it's not like
Thank you.
of course.
I think it cost me 160 just to do that. So,
Okay.
but yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Thank
spend
you,
it all.
appreciate-
Super. Okay.
I will also be needing to borrow your darkness glasses.
Here you go.
Right.
You can have them now. I have dark vision.
Okay, thank you.
Can you add dark vision glasses to your goggles to your inventory, Ian? If you need help with that, I can drag them and drop them for you.
No, I'm not.
Super duper. Okay. What else do you guys want to do? You've got basically a day to kick around on deck.
If there's any extra pitch, I would like to use that because I've got a piece of cloth I want to write a message.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Thaddeus goes to the crewman and he gets a piece of cloth from.
Oh, I already have a piece of cloth.
Oh, you have the cloth.
Yeah.
You just need some pitch.
Yeah, pitch
Well,
or
there's
paint
lots
or
of
whatever.
leftover pitch in the bucket. It was
Whatever.
a big bucket, and you didn't
Good.
use that much of it.
Thank you.
All right. So you let me know when you've completed your message, and are you going to hang it off the side of the ship, or what do you think you're gonna
I'll have
do?
to assess when we get there where I'm going to leave it.
Okay. Cool. I look forward to the message. Other things other people need to do. You've got another day to kick around on deck.
Lavinia has to prepare her low vision spell.
Right? So you're going to do that in the morning? Do
Yep.
your spells in the morning?
Yeah, but I'm also going to find out the details of the talisman that I'm able to give to one spellcaster or to one crew member.
Okay.
So I have to find that out.
You were going to make some flaming arrows.
Yep.
Are you going to leave any with me by any chance?
Would you like some?
Well, because I'm going to be in the basket.
Okay.
You guys are going down,
All
Yep.
right.
right? So, you don't really have a use for flaming arrows when you're in the water,
No.
unless they're waterproof and you
Well,
somehow
I
light
mean,
them
I'm
when you-
using basically to make a flaming arrow. You've got a piece of cotton or a small cloth tied around the top, and then at the very last moment, you dip it into either alcohol or something else flammable. It can be pitch. It can, pitch is
we
flammable.
got tons of that apparently.
Yeah, we got lots of pitch, and pitch is waterproof. So once it comes out of the water, you just shake it and then light it.
Beauty. Well, I'm not going into the water. Lavinia and I are staying floating above,
Okay.
and we are going to act as snipers if anything goes wrong.
So that brings up the question, Josephine, you're going to be a sniper. What are you going to use for your? Are you going to use Mabel from up there? Are you going to use a bow with flaming arrows? What do you want to do?
I'm going to have it all handy.
Is Mabel a rifle or a shotgun?
Mabel is a rifle. That's my
Okay,
long
good.
rifle.
Yeah.
You've got a
I-
shotgun. She's got a rifle.
I've got a
Mabel
shotgun.
Mabel has a 200 feet reach.
Yeah.
My pistols only have, I think it's way less than that. Where are they?
Oh, I forgot to set the timer here. I am playing with it
Uh-oh.
right here. Okay, there's our timer for today. All right.
Yeah, my revolvers only have 60-foot range, so that's not really.
And I think a shotgun only has a 30-foot range.
I don't. But Mabel
Yeah,
has
it'll
200
say that on
feet.
whatever on
It
your
should,
shotgun.
yeah.
You've got that Deloso shotgun, Percy.
I love my pew pews, but they're not the greatest. I should see how much my bow has.
I would like to ask the crew if there's any craftsmen who might have striking runes or other runes that they could sell me.
The crew of the Anua?
Yes, because I can talk to them while we're on it.
You know what? Let's see how charming and persuasive you are. You're going to ask them.
I'm not very charming or persuasive.
I know. So
Maybe I can send someone better looking than me.
Well, okay. What's your plan then?
Well, Thaddeus, I think you're the most charismatic of the group.
But
Why,
can
thank you
also-
so much.
I can speak their language.
Yes, that's
Well,
probably.
that could be more useful.
And
Yeah.
one additional point of persuasion when speaking their language.
Okay, well, that's better than me by a long shot. Would you be willing to see if you can negotiate to see if they have any striking or runes or armor runes?
Striking runes or armor runes?
Yeah, there's a particular set of runes that the DM would know about, I imagine. But if they even give you the positive glance, we might have an opportunity. Or the formulas for them so I can make my own runes would also work.
Okay, well, yes, I can endeavor to make some inquiry
I'd be grateful.
to the captain and his first mate. Did we find out who the first mate is?
Gilligan.
Gilligan? Okay. Fearless crew.
I'm trying to think because I know you made me a bow, but I'm
Yeah.
not seeing it in my inventory or my actions. I'm wondering if I maybe put it in the bag of holding,
It's very likely.
just because of the bulk at whatever time.
I mean,
Like, I
given I can make a bow every, I think it's 3 hours, 4 hours.
I don't know. You'd have to look at the crafting
Yeah.
thing.
I'm gonna peek in the bag of holding because I'm pretty sure I dumped it in there because
And
I know I
currently
had
have
it.
2 bows, a common bow which I used for competitions, and the black bow.
So, name of the first mate. Guess what this means the Wedmaster has to do?
Make up the first one.
Fantasy name generator.
Oh dear.
And we're just going to go with pirate. And then we'll see what we get. Sometimes you get good names, and sometimes you get incredibly stupid names. So,
Why can I not find the bag of holding? I don't find it here anymore.
bag of holding, I will show you guys where it is. And the first mate's name turns out to be Soames, Soames, Soames.
Soames. Okay.
All right.
It's a very familiar name.
All right. You go to Soames
Yes.
and you are asking
And-
him about the striking runes.
And I want to, I beseech you that you would assist me in my search to find striking runes and armor runes. Do you know anything of these things?
Roll for persuasion. And I will roll with my mug. I love my mug. Father's Day mug. Thank you very much, you guys.
You're very welcome.
All right. So, what have you got for your persuasion to go with it?
Comes out to a 19.
Well, considering that Soames rolled a real shitty 6, I think you have convinced him to try and help you.
Okay.
And he looks at you curiously, though, and he thinks for a minute and says, well, we don't use anything like that on our weapons, the way the small people do. So offhand, I don't know if any of the crew members would carry much like that, but let me ask around and I'll get back to you in a couple of hours.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Now, we have just upgraded to Foundry 12 from Foundry 11, and that broke a bunch of my macros that I use to, like, you click the button and they automatically do a generator thing to do stuff like that. So I've got to do it a different way while we're doing this. Now, what was the other question somebody else wanted? Something besides that?
I found it. It is in the one that's labeled the bag of holding. But when I first brought it up, I didn't toggle over to the actual party stash. I was looking at the characters on the first page of it.
Yeah, so we'll go
Which
to the
there's some
adventure
cool stuff in
screen
here
right
that I
here.
forgot about.
So we'll actually go to our game and Foundry, and I'm just going to show you there are a couple of ways that you can find it. One is the little bag of holding down here. It says Party Stash, which is number 8 on your fast toolbar at the bottom.
Yep.
How come I said adventure screen? How come it's not showing me the right thing?
Also, I'm not seeing any bows in here, but I am seeing crossbows. So I'm like,
Oh, I see.
can do a
I've got the wrong
crossbow.
page. Okay, so as I was saying,
because crossbows are triggered, right?
Should be.
Yeah. Let's kind of
yes,
play
number
out.
8 on this bar down here is your party stash. But there's also up here, if you go to the characters where it says the party, there's a little page. There's a folder and a little page, and that little page is open sheet too, and it'll open up your party stash as well. And then you've got to go to the stash tab, not the overview or the exploration tab, but the stash tab to actually see your stuff. Make sense?
I'm sorry I wasn't able to find night vision goggles.
Okay. Dark vision, I think they're called.
Oh, okay. I tried that too.
Let's have a look and see what we can find.
Some sort of glasses of some sort.
I thought I might have put them in the bag of holding, actually.
DARK.
In your own bag of holding?
No, in the group one. I was fussing about, and I thought I might have done it.
All right. Well, I will look them up. I'll put it on my to-do list to find them for you.
Thank you.
Any other stuff that you guys are doing this afternoon?
I am letting you know that I know what my bonus feat is, and so I'll be adding that.
Okay.
Or
What bonus
getting-
feat are you choosing?
I am choosing Blessed Armament with the sub thing of Ghost Touch.
Okay. That sounds fun.
And Ghost Touch is a weapon etched with this rune, can harm creatures without physical form. A Ghost Touch weapon is particularly effective against incorporeal creatures, which almost always have a specific vulnerability to Ghost Touch weapons. Incorporeal creatures can touch, hold, and wield Ghost Touch weapons, unlike most physical objects.
Cool. That's awesome.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds good.
An
Other
excellent
things?
choice, actually.
Thank you.
Other things you guys wanted
I
to...
just wanted to know, in the party stash, there's goggles of Night Terran, and it's under equipment, the very last line item, if you wanted to pull it from there.
Goggles of Night.
Goggles of Night.
There you go.
There it is.
Okay. Super.
They're all yours.
Thank you.
They have my sweat on them. Little
I've endured worse.
tears of misery are
Oh, there's also day goggles. That's exciting. Don't know what that's for.
Well, those would be for people that have need to see in the daylight, but they've got...
Oh, with sensitive
Eyes.
eyes.
There they are.
Sensitive
Okay.
eyes.
I got them now. Thank you.
Okay. And yeah, for flaming arrows, can you make crossbow arrows?
Darts or
Bolts.
quarrels
They're called bolts for
bolts.
crossbows.
Okay.
And you have a crossbow?
We have 2 crossbows in the bag of holding.
Oh, I
They
see.
changed from bows to crossbows. I don't know. That's weird.
You probably picked them up someplace off of somebody that you were fighting. I wonder if it was the undead elves. I don't remember where you
Maybe.
guys found
Could
them.
have been, yeah.
Did we raid them? And
Yeah,
get some
I think we
crossbows?
just like took everything.
We just
and,
took
like,
everything
yeah.
because we wanted to get the heck going.
Yeah.
And
Stuff
Because
in the
yeah,
bag
we
of
had the
holding.
like the
So if they're there, that's
dying
great.
picture.
You're all sorted then.
all right. And I could modify the existing bolts for being flaming.
cool.
by,
Thank you.
adding cloth.
Okay,
and-
I don't.
make
It
sure it's
doesn't
balanced.
say anything about having any, but
I have
oh, you have some.
lots of strips of cloth.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
or bolts?
Yeah, it doesn't say that they have any. It just says that there's a crossbow. It doesn't say that there's any
Ammo.
ammo.
Yeah, where would I find my ability to make those bolts?
So the crafting tab is where they are, and it looks like I've got to do an update on it. So if you click open your character sheet, at the very top it says crafting. It's a little hammer. You click open that hammer, and then it gives you the whole crafting page for making stuff. And there are all the different books that have all the different recipes. One of yours is Northern Bushcraft, that you've got arrowheads, arrows, things like that. We haven't
Staying on
talked
the
about.
straight and arrow.
Yeah, there's also staying on the straight and arrow. And I don't know if Percy can see those, but there's a sleep arrow, an antler arrow, and a bane arrow there. We're just going to add a fire arrow in. But that's how you will make them, and then I will make sure that they go into your inventory. But we'll just role play it for tonight.
I can also make 4 alchemist flasks for you ladies. Basically, you can just drop them off. They're like bombs.
Yes, please.
1d6 damage of fire.
Cool. After a couple of hours, Soames comes back to Percy to talk to him about the armor runes and says, well, I have good news and I have bad news.
Yes.
The good news is that one of the crewmen does happen to have an armor rune. And that's the only one he has. He doesn't have any strike runes, but he has an armor rune that he won in a gambling game of dice. The bad news is that he wants some gems for it. So I don't know what you're able to offer him, but if you've got enough gems, he might be willing to part with it.
What have we got in the group gems that we could offer?
It's like 200 and change.
200 and change,
Something like that.
And that's regular. That's regular airlight gems
Yeah.
or airlight clusters. Just gems, right?
Gems. Right.
Gems. Okay.
The clusters got stolen by some little hobbit things.
Well, yeah. So I would offer. What do you think's appropriate for that? 20?
No.
More?
At least 50. At least
You
50.
think 50?
Well, you don't want to insult the guy.
Well,
He's
no,
like
no.
10
Yeah,
feet tall.
but
They're,
I mean,
they're big,
we don't have a swack of
and but
money.
we also don't want to act like we're pushovers.
Okay. Well, the gems we need also to make the armor rune something that I can use. So if we have other gems of sorts that aren't arrow-like gems, maybe he would like a pearl or something.
Oh,
And Lavinia's got all the
Let me
the loot.
see what interesting thing.
because you're using some of those for materials for your spells, right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything at this point. We could.
So Pete, you asked in the chat here, extra distance and power with bolts. I'm still loading it. It's going to take an hour for it to load into my character, and then I'll be able to tell you. But I did notice that it's 120 feet with the crossbow, so that's a pretty good reach.
Thanks for asking.
Awesome. While Soames listens to you talk with Raven, he doesn't fully understand what you're saying, but as you're offering 50 gems, he looks at you curiously and he's like, you need a little bit of help with your bargaining. Offer him 10. He hasn't got any use for that rune himself.
Yeah.
And you never know. He's going to come back at a little more.
We also did not want to offend.
Also, offering him a pearl when he is quite close to water at all time. A pearl is probably the most common thing that he might have. But we could still do it. Anyways, I have.
He's in the sky, so
We're in the
he's
sky,
not
not
close
the
to
water.
water.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's been a
So
day.
what about this one pearl? What would he like? This is an intriguing item. It's a very kind of groovy thing. And
Soames picks
in
it
our
up,
culture,
looks at
it's
it,
somewhat magical.
bites it, and it cracks. And he's like, "No, thanks."
No, okay.
And he hands it back to you.
Well,
Dang it.
maybe we should just start him off with the 10 gems and see if he'll accept it, and then
All right, so Soames turns and shouts, and another fairly scrawny, one of the scrawnier members of the sailors that's on the ship comes over, looks at you, smiles, and he's got a big toothy smile, and one of his teeth has actually got a gem embedded in it, a little
Oh, nice.
silvery
well, our physician isn't if he wasn't busy
crystal
in
of
rigging.
some type.
Yeah.
And he reaches into a pouch inside his very short-legged breeches that he's wearing, and he pulls out this little rune that's very tiny in his hands. He looks at it, winks at you, and smiles and says, "How much?"
How about 10?
10. Oh! And he goes and he starts walking away, shaking
Well,
his
20,
head.
20 then.
And Soames says to you, no, you need to learn how to bargain with the Anua. We are a trading people.
Right.
And you worried about insulting him. The only way you're going to insult him is to pay full price without dickering.
All right.
Oh.
Well, how much do you want for it?
He's like, 10. I want 80 gems. 80 gems for it.
80 gems.
15.
I say 30. Maximum.
30. Oh,
All right, 25.
are you in the
You're not
discussion? You don't
involved in the
even speak the
discussion.
language.
I'm doing this. All right. So I say 30 gems.
30.
Mm.
He looks at you and he starts to, like he's going to spit on the deck, and then he sees Soames and he swallows it back up, looks at it and says, 35 and you've got a deal.
Fine. 30.
All right. And he spits in his hand and he holds it out.
Right.
You
And
spit in your
this,
hand. And
this giant meaty hand closes around yours. And he waits for you to give him the gems. And actually, what he does is he gives those rune to Soames
Okay.
for Soames to make the exchange, and then because he says he has to get back to his duties.
Okay, fine. Then we'll,
All right. So you have congratulations, you have an armor rune.
all right, and we paid 35 gems for it. So
I assume it's like the first one, like a +1 armor rune. That's typically what they
how
are.
would you assume that?
Roll a d20, and if it is higher, if it's 15 or higher, it's a +2 armor gem.
Okay.
If it's lower, if it's 14 or lower, it's a +1.
Okay. I'm only able to put on like +1 until I'm a higher level. So it's a 16.
So it's a +2 armor gem.
Sweet. Can't use it for a while.
Can't use it yet.
Nice.
What level do you guys get +2 armor gems? Do you know?
I got to look this up. I'm
That's what
I'm
it's
still
called,
learning
right?
my rune stuff. But
Yeah,
that's an
armor
excellent
rune.
deal. 35 gems for a +2 armor.
Well, there you go.
That's insanely good deal.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay, well that's fun. All right, so you've been able to accomplish that. You've got the rest of this day to do other stuff. Is there anything else? Or are you just gonna pass the day with
I'm
the
going to
group?
work on my carving of Darkwing Duck to come and
And make me some bolts, please.
make you some bolts.
Yeah.
Because his name is Marduk. I get it.
Okay.
Okay.
And he's dark.
Darkwing Duck. That's right.
Yeah.
And bolts
Bolts.
and other things.
Okay, so how many bolts can I make in a couple hours? We've got an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours.
Roll a d12.
T12.
Don't we have till tomorrow?
You have till tomorrow
we have
morning.
2 days, right? We had
We have a day and a half at this point, or or a day or whatever.
You spent much of the day putting
5.
sharp things on the bomb.
5.
5.
Okay,
On,
so
on a
you.
D12, right?
So I'm going to say that means that you're able to make 10 bolts.
Okay.
2
I make
times
you 5. 10 bolts for you.
Thank
you'll
you
have
so much.
10 bolts to fire in such short notice.
Does that take? Do you need gems for making those?
No. For bolts,
No, it's just
all
a
you need
crafting
is
thing.
Okay.
yeah, it's just crafting.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can use virtually anything, including bits of stone for the heads, and if you get higher in skill, you can cast bronze or whatever for the heads. But we're not going there.
Leftover shards of whatever we
Right,
have.
and
from
then
the
you just take
bomb.
sticks of a certain length, and you carve them down, and then cut a slot, mount the head, and bind it with sinew, and then you put feathers in it, and that's it. It's bolt. It's ready to rock.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
The only thing is, Dave, when I added the crossbow to my page, it's not saying what the damage would be. So I don't know.
All right. Well, we're going to go to Josephine Smith. The crossbow right now is now in your inventory somewhere. I see
Yeah.
it, crossbow. And then over on the side, we're going to change carry type to held. Can we even change it to change carry type to held two hands? There we go. Crossbow. If we change the carry type to held two hands with that little blue hand on the side, now when you go to actions, I'll bet you there's a crossbow there. And so there is. And now under actions, there's a crossbow,
Oh,
and the
there we go.
damage
So
is
damage.
1d8 piercing.
Okay. Cool.
Now, because you're making flaming arrows, they're going to be, I'm going to say, a d6 of fire
For fire
on
damage.
top of the d8 of piercing. You guys need a little bit more damage than just the basic shit because, you're going up in levels, and so that stuff needs to scale up.
It says no ammo, arrows 20. I can change it to, but I'm gonna get 10, right? So
Yeah, okay. So let's say that you get 20, that Percy's able to make you 20 instead of 10 because that's the number that it allows in the program that we're using. And that'll just
Thank
make
you.
life
Yeah.
easier. In the late afternoon, once again, Soames comes back to you and says that the captain has requested your presence for supper again tonight, and for last plans. As you attend supper and you're sitting there, he tells you that with a tailwind that they've had from the northeast, they've made better time than they expected, and late tonight he expects to come upon the Picatanu River, and then they will turn and head north along the river looking for the ship. He doesn't want to go too far south on the Picatanu because of, as you can see on the big table map. Well, let's go up here. Or I can do it on this one. He doesn't want to go too close to Ormcadis, the Blood Coast, or to Chapatula. He doesn't want to get embroiled in any problems there. So it's going, he figures just over the horizon, just to the north of it, is where he would like to come across the river and then be able to start tracing the way north. And Marduk says, we don't know how far it will be. We don't know. We could come upon them within an hour, or it could take the next day to come upon them as we go up the river, sailing above it. So, in
Should
any
we
event,
take a nap, guys?
yeah,
I
and he
think so.
suggests you get some sleep. In any event,
Get some sleep.
if they don't spot it tonight, if his lookout doesn't spot the riverboat tonight, and they spot it during the daytime tomorrow or the next day, the skyship will have to do is circle around and wait until It is night, which means that to not arouse suspicion, the skyship will continue to sail past as though it's on whatever course it is. And once it's over the horizon, it will circle back
It'll
to
get by
catch up
casual.
once twilight has dropped.
Yep.
So this is how Marduk explains all of his plans as far as his sailing plans for you to try and get you into position.
With us sleeping, and it will give me the ability to change all my spells for the
Yes,
next
and
day.
you could have done that anytime today too, because you've got the whole day.
Okay.
Oh no! Look what I found.
I can't.
It's a ship's cat. Here, let me click on me. There we go. This is Larry, our cat. What? You can't go down yet. You have to say hello.
Hello, Larry.
Hello, Larry.
Leroy Catchins.
What? How about
We are
breakfast
here
like
in
this?
Larry's room.
Yes.
Yes, we're in Larry's room.
Yeah.
This is Larry's favorite room in the house.
It's got its table heater.
He hates being picked up, by the way. He wants you to fight with him or pet him or scratch him,
Well,
but not to pick him up.
But
Here,
he does
you
come
wanna
and
go
jump
down?
on me.
All right, you can go down. There you go. He is a big cat, man. Boy, he's heavy.
He can stretch out the entire length of this TV.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Haven't you seen
Yeah.
the pictures?
He's
no,
like
I haven't seen.
Larry's like this
Good
long
Lord.
when he's all stretched
Just
out.
no, that's just when he's standing. Like when he's stretched out, he's literally like this, like
Indeed.
2 feet.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
And he likes to lay like that too. Like he likes to like do the Superman pose and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't curl up hardly ever, except in his cat.
meow, meow, meow,
And
meow,
up in the
meow.
linen closet. He's
And up in the
taken,
linen
he's
closet.
taken over one
He's
of
got it
the
Meow, meow.
shelves.
Super cat.
Okay, that's enough about Super Cat. Other things during supper tonight. This is going to be this could be your last chance to ask Marduk any questions. Do you guys have any other questions for him or things before?
Yeah. Like maybe we should clarify what. See, there he
Oh,
is.
Speaking of the table cat, here it is.
And you can see how our cameras get moved around.
There he is.
Go, Godzilla.
That's his favorite place to hang
So-
out.
I love David's suggestion of rolling to see if we can get the cat to.
Yeah. So we'll leave him there for now while we're talking, and we don't need the table map yet. But I'm going to kick you off. Don't push my camera around with your face.
Yeah, we haven't really talked extraction.
Well, that's because we're going to be in the water and swimming for the shore. And I think the plan was to get you guys to snipe as many of the undead in the water as possible. I know that Thaddeus is probably going to be fighting with the undead underwater. I'm probably
I
going
have
to be...
I have the corpse ward pendant.
Okay.
I do too.
And I did not get one.
And I didn't get one either. But I have a feeling felines might have another part in our escape. A more intimate part. Meow. Meow. And for all I know, my cat spirit probably doesn't like water, so he'll probably do everything he can to get out of it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, like maybe we should just I guess we're just gonna play it by ear.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
We don't know what it's exactly
Okay,
gonna look like
okay.
yet, but I think it's gonna be like run like bat out of hell, get away from the wreckage as it's exploding and on fire, and try to avoid getting killed by the soldiering undead.
Is he
That's
eating
like-
a...
Larry,
He's attacking me.
don't eat the minis.
He's attacking my feline counterpart. You.
Oh,
is-
if you point at him, he'll probably bite your
You know what he
finger.
wants? He wants to fight now, don't you? You want to fight?
Oh no.
We're a little off track here.
I know we're
Little
still on
off track.
So
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like squirrel. In this case, it's cat.
I think they said it best. Run for the hills. Anyway, we're going to all scatter, and hopefully you guys can snipe some of them before they get us. And we will get to the shore, and then the extraction will occur from there. But we don't want to endanger our giant buddies. And at the same time, we don't know what we're going to have to deal with in terms of the human guys.
I imagine once the bomb goes off,
Yeah.
that's going to be like, it will still be a minute or two before the ship actually sinks.
Yeah.
So, and meanwhile, you guys are throwing some Molotov cocktails off as you jump off? Or no? Or were you just going to jump off quietly, discreetly, get far away,
Yeah.
and have Drama
I think Drama is going to set off the explosive, so that means the fuse is lit, and then we just bug out.
Okay, so all of the Molotov cocktails are with us.
Yeah.
As well as you had some
And
You've
additional.
got flaming arrows.
I've
I've got
also
flaming
I
arrows.
have the ability to use the divine direction with my heel, so I can make it cone into a 60-foot. So
What's your distance on that?
I will check to see, but it's pretty good.
That's awesome.
And the other thing too is that if I end up combining it with the exploding part at the end of it, then that should be.
Will that work through water if some of them have already?
No, I'm thinking of mainly on the deck, like
Okay.
aiming for the deck.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Marduk says that the basket is going to have to be fairly low if you're going to make a 60-foot cone hit the deck. It's certainly possible, but a 60-foot cone it reaches from you out
Right.
to
Right.
60 feet in
Yeah.
a cone
Yeah.
shape, right?
So it's probably got a fairly wide arc then.
Yes.
Like it's probably got like a 30.
I'm going to say
foot-
30 feet at the end of the arc.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
So.
Okay.
Normally, the cones in this game are built for horizontal. So for you to be shooting down with it, it's going to be a little bit odd. It's going to be more round and targeted, I suppose. But
Yes.
it'll be fine. No,
Everybody who knows
we'll
the
have
comic
fun
sections from
working
now.
it out.
It packs flat and plays big.
Okay, and I can alchemy up
IKEA
4
furniture?
alchemist lesser fires. So basically they will give you, and I can do that up the morning of.
So for what?
Well, you wanted Molotov
Fire bombs.
cocktails. They're fire bombs.
Yeah, I thought he was making like physical.
He's making physical.
I
He's
have
got the alchemy fires.
I have 3 Molotov cocktails prepared.
So
Okay.
we've got the
But
4 alchemy
didn't they
fires.
say
the
that
3 Molotov cocktails.
like we've got still some empty vessels, right? And they said that you could use their they've got alcohol that you can
alcohol
use.
in
Oh.
huge bottles, and we were going to recant some of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Perhaps Lavinia, had you considered making any holy water to toss off?
Probably.
That'd be a good bomb too, I think.
I don't know how many containers we have total. The small containers. Do we have an inventory on that?
Let's see here.
Most people should have glass vials of some type in their inventory. There are 3 different sizes. Bottles.
I have 10. Yeah, I have 10 empty glass bottles, 9 empty glass flasks, 7 vials, an empty jug.
He's been collecting.
But you could also just do a bucket of holy water and just pour it on and
That's
save the
true.
vessels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bless this giant's bucket of holy water and
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like with it falling from the air, that like will give it
Disperse.
some. Yeah.
let it rain holy.
Just a thought.
All right.
No,
No, it's
you're
a great,
correct.
it's a
Yeah.
great thought. I was just thinking in terms of their containers are a lot bigger than our containers. So if we filled one of their containers,
Well, we could
with-
use like one of their mugs or something like that.
And
that
that's
would
what
be,
you're able. That's what you would be able to. That's the amount of water that you'd be able to bless in this one night. Would be a big mug of theirs, which for you would be something like I'm going to say a 10-gallon bucket.
Okay.
So just out of curiosity, how big is this basket that they're lowering us in?
The basket that they're lowering you in is
big
About
enough
the size
for
of
us
this
and the
room?
bomb.
bigger than no. It is 2 of these tables that we've got here. So
Okay.
in the room that we're in, the size of this table, 2 of them.
I just wanted to make sure that we weren't over calculating what was going to be in This.
Yes, and you've got to remember, Marduk reminds you that you've got to be able to fit the bomb in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else we could perhaps lash it to the outside of the basket to lower you.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. That belt that I was talking about, the heavy lifting belt, either any of you can borrow it to
I think
use
that
it.
the
Right.
floating disc, is that what, is
Yeah,
that what
we
it's
talked
actually?
about
Yeah,
floating
I
disc.
just want to back up though.
Oh, in the back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good plan.
Okay. Anything else for supper, or are we concluding supper?
I think we are concluding supper.
Okay, so you turn in for the night. Marduk promises you that when it comes to, let's actually switch over back over to Marduk. How come I not switched? There we go. Marduk promises you that if they sight the ship, he will wake you up. If they don't sight the ship tonight, then he will let you sleep, and you'll have more prep time in the morning.
Okay.
As you sleep, let's find out if the ship appears. You wake up in the morning because as you look over the rail, you discover that you are now traveling north along the river. Soames comes to you because Marduk is busy, and Soames says that they have not sighted the ship, but they have got other concerns, and he points at the horizon, and you can see far, far away on the horizon that there is another sky ship there.
Okay.
Yay.
And Soames says he doesn't know yet what nation that sky ship is from. Do you want to use your binoculars and give it a try? See if you can sight it. Maybe your eyes are better than a new one.
Certainly. I will use my binoculars.
And-
What should I roll? A 20?
Yep, roll the D20
I've also
For,
got my spyglass.
and add your perception.
Yeah. Okay.
You can both do that.
Perception.
But I think that Josephine has the farthest sight.
My perception is plus 13, and I do have low light vision, although it's light out right now, right? I
It's
rolled an 11, so 24.
24.
27.
Nice.
27. Well, as you both look through your spy glasses, Marduk comes up beside you with a giant spyglass of his own, looking at it. The problem that you have is that you don't know the different ship shapes. You don't know what the outline of a ship of any particular nation
All we
would
know
be.
is if it's painted black on the front, we don't want to mess with those guys.
Because of where it is in the east. The sun is behind it, so it is a bit of a
Silhouette.
black silhouette, and you are unable to see any color on the ship's hull, right? But you can hear Marduk and Soames in discussion about it, and some concern in their voice.
Can I?
Percy is there as well, and
I've
you
chosen my language, which
chosen
is the
a
giant's
new one?
language.
Okay.
Yeah. And I ask him, how long do you think it will take for your enemies to come upon us if they decide to pursue?
And he looks and he smiles and he says, well, in this case, I don't think that they would come upon us. I think that they would try and escape, seeing as they sight our vessel. Because we are more than a match for any of the Aesir Viking ships.
So you're
But
not
he-
in any peril.
No, he smiles and laughs at you. Well, in the midst of a battle, you could be, but no, we wouldn't be running from a fight. We would be having to break off to chase them. He says, but don't worry. As he's looking through the glass, he says, that is not a Viking longboat shape. Look at the prow, and as Josephine and Thaddeus look through their spy glasses, they can clearly see that the prow of the ship is higher than the front. It's not an even low, long silhouette like a longboat would be that comes up in the back and comes up in the front. The prow of that ship is higher than the bow of that ship. The back of the ship is higher than the front of the ship. And finally, Soam says, "Dragon people," and Marduk nods with him and says, "Yep, dragon people, probably traders passing this way. So we will leave them be. They're no threat to us. We have a treaty with them." And he leaves it at that, as though it's just everyday business.
The next question I have for him is, if we come upon the ship and it's daylight, would we have to hide until night, or could we pursue this plan during day?
The riverboat.
Yes.
You're discussing the riverboat, whether or not you would. He says, "No, my plan would be to fly past it,
Yeah. Oh, right.
so
you
I
said-
don't alert it.
Okay.
Once I'm over the horizon, I will." Larry, that's
Good Lord.
it's kind of hard to look at the cat. Okay, so he says the plan would be, once they're over the horizon, to circle back once again to come upon it from the south when it is dark.
We are easily distracted, really.
The giant cat has completely crushed the Feywood. All the little elves in the Feywood are dead now,
Oh,
smothered in cat fur.
Larry.
Look what you did,
Mousies.
Be nice to the elves.
He's such a funny cat.
I've got my eye on you, cat.
Play Cat 2025
Yeah.
centerfold.
Play temptation.
Other questions for Marduk? Marduk and Soames say that they're not going to change course. They're not
Where
going
did
to
the dragon
pursue.
people come from?
Marduk looks at you in surprise and then says, "Oh, you're still new to this world, so you would not understand this. Dragon people come from the other side of the world,
Oh.
and they're called the dragon people because there are actual dragons in their land. There's even a one particular breed of indulating serpent dragon that they will often be seen to have as mounts."
Do they have golden skin?
Well, he says they have, yes, a lighter yellowish skin, yes.
That makes sense.
And they often will cross the oceans to trade either with the Anua at one of the floating cities, or they'll even trade as far as the eastern lands, even with the Romans, with the Celtae, stuff like that. And he says he expects that this particular ship is looking for one of the drifting cities. The problem with the drifting cities is they drift. So they're never any in one particular place. You can go to the last location that you've heard one was sighted, and from there you've got to try and guess where to go.
So I suppose you don't have anybody who anticipates their motions, and sort of
So far,
meteorological system.
has not been any rhyme or reason to how they drift. One of the things about them, though, is that they seem to have a limit that they will not drift towards each other.
Or drift off the continent.
No, they will drift over the water. They will not drift far off a continent, but they will drift over the water.
Okay.
But it is true that most of the floating cities tend to stay somewhere drifting over the continent that is their home continent. Whether it's the eastern lands, whether it's the dragon lands, whether it's the western lands, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, our alarm has gone off.
Yes.
It is 8:14 Mountain Standard Time, our time right now. So we're going to take our break for the night. We usually do a 15-minute break. We're going to come back at
Stay tuned. Next episode, we could encounter the ship at night and explode and explore, and we could be in deep danger.
He's pretty good at his radio.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So yes, we'll be back at 8:30 our time for anybody that's watching us live. For those of you that are watching the recording, I'm getting a little bit better at chopping out these breaks. If there's a long break in our recording that you're watching, you can just skip through to where we pick up our game again. But if I've got it edited, that break might only be like 15 seconds, and boom, we'll be right back. Thanks very much, everyone, and we'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Very
Take care.
soon.
See you soon.
Okay, and we are back. Welcome to the Wylders game. I forgot to do the little clack at the start of the first game. Clack. And
Timer.
That would make clack
I
shine.
will do the timer because this is our second session tonight. It's getting close to the end of February in 2025. So there, I've got a timer set now. My name's Dave Wildson. This is the Wylders game, and here they are. Everybody say hello, please.
Hello, please.
Hello, please.
So I'm going to pick right up where we were before, and that was that you guys were just going to sleep. You just woke up in the morning. You are on the ship, the Minior, and we have a picture. We go back to the picture. Is that on the adventure screen? Yeah, there we go. The ship, the Minior. And do I have another? Oh, Dave's head doesn't work on that ship. Oh, that's great. All right. Well, anyways, in the morning, as the ship is moving north above the Picatano River, you sighted another ship on the horizon, but it turned out to be one of the dragon boats, one of the ships of the dragon people, not an enemy of the Anua. So you're continuing on for the day, trying to catch up to the riverboat that you're going to try and covertly try and get aboard by being dropped down with the basket. Anything you want to do this morning, or any questions you have, or things that you have thought of since last night?
I still need to switch out my spells, so I'm going
Okay.
to do that.
So Lavinia, focus on spells.
I'm going to create 4 alchemists lesser fires and give them to Josephine and Lavinia.
Okay.
And I have a question for the rest of my friends. Do you think I should choose the language of the soldiering dead, or should I still stick with the language of the giants?
Does this soldiering dead only have one language?
Latin, I think.
Well, Latin is the common trade language that everybody uses in this world because of the influence of the new Romans, right?
Actually,
I think it's more
I don't think
important-
it's the soldiering dead that speak any language. I think it's their handlers.
Yeah, I think it's more important to communicate.
Well, where
with-
did the
with our
soldiering dead
hosts.
come from?
I agree.
They came from our world, so they probably speak English. All right,
Correct.
so I'll stick with the giants' language for today.
Okay,
And
so
I've got Latin.
There we go.
yeah.
that?
And
I have
Thaddeus
Latin.
has Latin.
So do I.
Yes,
You call Latin?
these two can both speak Latin.
All right,
Can
I'll go to Latin.
I can just
Lavinia as well.
understand it, or can I
You
speak
can
it?
understand it. You could probably speak a few words in it, but you're not fluent in Latin.
Then
The
we can
Latin
just
you
work.
know is because you had to sit through many, many, many masses. So,
I can relate.
Nomen di Patri, di Filii, di Spiritus Sancto.
other things before.
Oh, you got it. You can have this if you want, but you got.
Right around noon, all of a sudden you hear a shout from the front of the ship.
Oh,
Oh,
And the captain strides up to the front. I'm assuming you guys want to join him.
Mhm.
And as you look down, you're much higher than this particular shot from the adventure screen here. But as you look down, do I need to put it on the back screen? I do. Hold on.
that would be lovely.
You see the riverboat below you. Now, this was the original picture that I had for you that came from the message in the mirror, but this is not an accurate representation of what you see.
along with the water skiing undead guy.
Exactly. What you actually see, it looks like it's a paddle boat with a paddle wheel on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it, in fact, has 2 open decks just above the hull. So there's a top deck, and then as you're looking, you can see there's a second deck, and you can see some soldiers just around the edge of the rail where the hull comes up, and there's the second deck. So you know that there are 2 stories above the hull of the ship.
Can I do a quick battle assessment just to see, assess their movement, whether they're being typical zombies shambling about or if there's any sort of regimentation?
Okay, so as you use your spyglass and you look down upon them and you observe their movements, first of all, they're purely focused on the direction that the ship is moving. They're not really. Every once in a while, you might see a lone patrol soldier patrol the back of the ship, but that's the only person that ever looks backwards. The rest of them all look forwards. And here is what it looks like from above. Here, I've got to do this for you guys. Doop-a-doop. It's going to take a moment to load. Give me a sec.
Ooh, look at that.
Hey, you guys aren't supposed to be there. And that black pot, I missed up on the black pot.
So it appears that the staircases are being guarded.
So as you're able to look while the ship that you're on is overtaking the riverboat below it and passing above it, they clearly become aware of you, but they don't pay much attention to the Anua ship as it continues to pass, because they just believe that the sky ship above them is just on whatever course that it's on, and it's incidental that it happened to, overtake them and is going to continue to pass. So you've got a good solid half hour to 40 minutes where you are able to observe them. And when you do, it'd be nicer if I had my ship sideways instead of like this, but I can't do that. So you're just going to have to
Turn sideways yourselves.
I'm going to turn it like this, and this is going to give you 2 views of the ship. The view on the right side is the deck just above the hull, and the view on the left side, this side where I've got the arrow, is the top of the ship, the top deck of the ship.
Do we need to reload what we've got going on our page?
Didn't it? You should be able to just move it around and scroll it out and stuff. That's why you see that black area, is because you're not able to see other than the rails on the not the top deck but the second deck. You're not
Right.
able to see, but you're able to identify that there are guards standing on the top deck, and there are 4 of the guards that are actually at what look to be some type of harpoon guns that fire thing. And then you identify right in the very middle of the ship. Here, I'll zoom back in and we'll move the ship around to make it a little easier for you guys to see what I'm talking about. You identify in the very middle of the ship, and can I get it? What do we got on an adventure screen behind me? Let's go like this. That's better. Bear with me a sec. I'm going to get this ship and just zoom it out for the people at home so they can see it a little bit there. If you look at the table map, you're able to identify with your spyglass, you're able to zoom in this much, and you can see that there are 2 what appear to be officers standing in the center of the boat. There appear to be, by your count, 4 of these soldiering dead soldiers standing at what look like harpoon guns. On the rear deck, it doesn't appear that there is anybody on the upper rear deck right now. And as you are able to see from the sides as you're passing by the second deck, you can see that there are quite a number of soldiers on the second deck stationed around the outer railing. There are 2 at the front, and there are 2 on the one side, 2 on the other side. That's all you see.
How deep is the water?
You can't tell how deep it is from here, but Marduk estimates, he says, well, the Picatano is a pretty wide, shallow river, right? It's quite wide and shallow, so he would estimate that probably right in the middle where they are, it's probably not more than 60 feet deep.
So these soldiering undead, they're covering the entrances to the stairs, are they not?
Mhm.
Yes.
The 2 in the back on the upper deck, there are 2 in the back clearly that you can see here.
Okay,
Now,
so
And
when you
these
guys,
2,
It looks like a hatch. On the very back deck, it looks like a hatch.
so the hatch that you're referring to would be
Right back.
yeah.
that right there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you will see one of the officers leave the middle of the center of the top deck here. The 2 officers that are in front of this pile of crates, and that officer will walk up these stairs, patrol around the upper deck here, because this deck, as you notice, is 3 steps higher than the center deck. Do you see?
Yeah.
There's a set of stairs here that lead from this raised
Could be
rear of
captain's
the
quarters
ship
under there.
down to the center area.
Mm.
This officer will come, make one circuit of the top, and he's the one that looks backwards for a while.
Okay.
Then he will return to sometimes you can see him speaking to the other officer, or otherwise they just stand silently there. Because these are the soldiering dead, it's very creepy. They hardly ever move in their stations. They just stand there dead, waiting, scanning ahead of them with their undead eyes.
Speaking of undead eyes, how did an eyeball end up on the
It's
TV?
Rob's
Well,
eyeball.
because I
wasn't
said I've got my eye on you, cat.
Oh.
it? You pass over the ship and overtake it and continue north with the riverboat behind you. So you're able to see from the rear of your sky galleon, you're able to see the front of the ship and clearly see that the front of the riverboat has got on the lower deck. On the upper deck, it's got 2 of the harpoon stations. And then on the lower deck, it's got some type of crane arrangement, and it's got 2 more guards on the front. And then you slowly continue to sail towards the horizon. And eventually, by later afternoon, the riverboat and the river have fallen pretty far behind you, and eventually they disappear behind you over the horizon by supper time. As soon as they are completely out of sight over the horizon, Marduk immediately orders the ship to bank to the right, to take a right and begin a very large circle, clockwise circle, to try and come up behind the riverboat again by the time it is dark. So you spend the rest of the evening very impatiently waiting while the sky galleon that you were on slowly circles back to the south completes its rotation, and by about 10 p.m., 11 o'clock, somewhere in there, just as the very last rays of sun are dropping in the western sky, you can see the ribbon of the river again below you. And the ship, the flying ship that you're on, straightens out its course and begins to go up that river. By 1 o'clock in the morning, you can see a black mass in the center of the river. And you can actually see the wake glowing a little bit, the wake of the paddle boat, because it's churning up the foam, and there's a little bit of phosphorescence there. It is not that dark a night. And hey, what about the clock? We should find out. Where's the moon tonight? It is about right now. You've been waiting. It is now the 29th. And that means that you've got a waxing gibbous moon. So it's a clear night, and there's just enough moonlight. It's not a full moon, but there's just enough moonlight to reflect off of the river. And that's how you're able to see the ribbon of the river against the dark forest banks on both sides, and this black mass in the center.
Okay.
And there are almost no lights whatsoever on the boat. The boat is just almost completely black except for a lantern at the front. And now the truth is, I've actually got a beautiful nighttime map of this boat. But because it's so bright here in our game studio where we play, it doesn't work for me to put it on the TV screen for us to see it. You can't see anything.
We could turn the
Right?
light off for a minute.
Well, I don't have it prepared now, so
Oh,
maybe
okay.
next time I'll try and do that for you. And we'll do a night operation. But it makes it really difficult for us to video when we start shutting down all the lights, right?
Yeah.
So-
We say, sorry, just really quickly, hello to some people on YouTube.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely you
A
can.
new friend, Reimburse Me, and our friend ZZ has joined us tonight too.
That's
Hello, hey.
Good.
Hey,
And hello,
guys.
reimburse me.
Yes, hello, welcome.
I think Kato wants in. Okay, so
Let's begin.
now you are starting to come up on the ship, and Marduk is whispering for everyone on all his crew to be completely silent. All lights are snuffed out on the galleon as well. Two of the crewmen have manhandled the basket over the side,
Okay.
and it is ready for you to
You have to
get into. But Marduk reminds you need to go and get the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go
Okay.
get the bomb.
Are we bringing the disc with us?
Yes.
Or
I've just handed you the belt.
Belt.
So that gives-
Jesus! Oh, sorry. Larry likes the strings on my legs.
Dear Lord.
All of a sudden, he's just attacking
Of all
my
the
leg.
times.
Sorry.
I wish that the tension had been just a little bit higher. We would have got a big scream out of that.
I'm sorry. Larry, come back.
All right. So
Okay.
you've got the belt.
I'm just in the process of I've handed you the belt.
Got the belt?
Did you make your holy water in the bucket?
Yes, she
Yes,
did.
we did.
Okay.
She's got a bucket of holy water.
Okay, I've cast floating disc, and it lasts for 8 hours. So
Okay.
it's following me.
So if we move the floating disc up to the bomb and we roll the bomb onto the floating disc, is that what we're thinking?
He can just lift it and put it because he's got the belt on.
I got the belt.
Okay. Just good
Oh, good.
Lord.
You guys
good.
need a cloth, or
Is
it's
there,
just
is there
foam?
more?
Okay.
What's going on? Okay.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It
Sorry.
seems to be-
It floats behind me, so I have to get close enough.
Okay, we'll use the belt to bring the bomb over to.
Okay, good. 'Cause
And
I-
yes-
Yeah, I knew there was a use for that darn
Yep,
belt.
I have
I've got my
balance.
corpse sword pendant on. I've
As
got
do
my
I.
night goggles.
I have dark vision now.
I am loaded with Mabel and with the crossbow and my 20 arrows.
I'm also wearing the hat of disguise.
And Thaddeus is wearing his hat of disguise.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you are rendering us invisible when we get.
Yes.
Well, once
Here?
we're ready.
Once
yes.
we're ready, then he's going to cast invisibility on the basket as we go down.
Well, actually, I'm going to cast invisibility on me and everything
Well,
within
that's what I'm saying.
a 10-foot radius.
Yeah.
So is the actual basket getting lowered right onto the deck?
No, we're going to be like
Are you guys
5 feet up. 6
okay?
feet up,
Because I'm like,
and
you
we're
guys are
gonna
just
have
gonna
to-
like, jump off.
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna have
you're
to
gonna
jump
have
off.
to hoist shift the bomb off of that and jump.
Marduk says he cannot guarantee exactly how high off the deck he could keep you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he says, there's a chance you might just barely touch the deck just for a few seconds. And that's when you should get off, because they will be able to tell when you've made contact with the deck, because the rope will start to go slightly slack.
Yeah.
You've got to remember it is directly under the sky ship. So they've got difficulty looking straight down and having any depth perception to see. They can see to put you on the deck,
Yeah.
but they can't see how close the basket is to the deck until it makes contact.
Yeah, and the ship and the skyship is moving, not in the same direction, not in sync
Okay.
with the riverboat.
And
It's
one more question.
it's going to
that
be
has do with-
overtaking the riverboat again.
Yeah,
Okay.
One more question that has to do with our nefarious wizard. Can you have the floating disc at the same time as invisibility, or no?
Yes.
Okay, because what I was thinking was we load the bomb onto the disc, lower it to the deck using your power, and then you maintain the sphere of invisibility, and we try to jump as quietly as we can onto the deck.
Well, the disc has to be within 5 feet of me, so I have to move with
So
the
we
disc.
throw you off of
Yeah,
the
I get-
basket. Yeah.
Well, I can cast Featherfall and jump from a distance, but
Nice.
you all have to be within a certain distance of me in order for the invisibility spell to work. So
And does Featherfall only work on yourself, or would it be like
No.
anyone touching you?
I can cast it more than once.
Okay.
I have scrolls for that. We could literally jump off from 60 feet and just float down. Mind you, the boat will move by then, so we'll probably miss it.
And the question would be for me is, if we cast Featherfall, how long does that last?
1 minute.
So maybe what we do. No, that sounds terrible. And Thaddeus, you're going to hate me.
Use your mic, Rob.
Thaddeus, you're going to hate me. We give the bomb to Thaddeus and Featherfall him. And because he's got the belt, he can manage the weight as he jumps down with the bomb.
But how is he? But he can't be he needs to be invisible.
but I've got the pendant.
So does that mean you could look like a soldiering dead?
Well, they just don't notice me.
Okay. I thought
He's
it
got
meant that you
all
can
these things
it's like a
happening, yeah.
disguise. Okay.
I can
Yeah.
cast
Well, I'm
invisibility
wearing a disguise for the
Would they not
for
notice
people
the
who are
bomb
not.
though? Like if they noticed you, would they not notice the bomb? Maybe because you're holding.
We don't know yet,
Okay.
but I hope
A
that
large black object wound with rope and bits of shards of iron coated in pitch, so it's black. It's a large, blobby black object.
they won't know what it is.
They won't know what it is.
and they're not paying attention to me.
No.
So
And these are zombies.
They still would probably notice a very large object suddenly plunking down on their boat.
Maybe they think it was a turd from the gods.
Maybe.
well, I'm hoping
So-
it won't be plunking down quite so
Marduk
quickly.
interrupts you for a second.
Since
And
We need to go.
talking.
I think the best plan would be to see if we can time that empty rear upper deck
Yep.
when the officer is left the patrol. Drop you right at that point, because he's never going to be looking straight upwards. We could have you above him even when he's patrolling that deck, just 20 feet above him, and he's never going to notice.
Yeah.
As soon as he leaves the deck and goes back down the stairs, he never looks backwards. He always faces forwards. We watched him all day while we were flying. The rest of the guards never look at the back deck. We should be able, as long as there is no noise to warn them, we should be able to get you to that point so that you can get off and then pull the basket up another 20, 30 feet, just have it 30 feet above the deck, and see if we can slow down our ship as much as possible to stay as close to the ship as possible.
No, you're absolutely right.
Is Bear in the basket with us?
Bear, we haven't even thought about. What are you going to do with Bear?
I don't know. That's why, like, is there room for him in the basket with us?
I'm sorry to say
it's-
this may not be a mission for Bear.
Yeah.
I don't see how he can help.
Marduk, as you bring it up, says, I think Big Doggy has to stay with us tonight.
Okay.
Or should we say puppy?
Yes. Yes. He's a big favorite of all of the crew now. Because he's a normal sized dog for them is because they're giant.
Yeah.
He would be like a puppy.
He would be like a puppy.
I have a question. So my Raven, I've been able to give her the ability of manual dexterity, which means she can manipulate things with her wings like they were hands. She's going to need to light this bomb with something. So do we have matches?
Yes. We all have matches.
Okay.
So here's some matches.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, my question that we have not addressed yet is, like, we land there. You guys are going to have to go down a staircase, probably the one closest to you. How are you going to silently kill this undead who's guarding the top of the stairs?
Isn't he's off on his?
No.
No. There's
You're talking about the officer? Or what?
no,
No,
the
not the
officers are
officer.
here.
Okay.
They do a trek and then come back over here.
Okay.
The stairs are guarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of us will have to kill him, but as soon as you do that, you're no longer invisible.
Yeah.
But you have your corpse mod.
However-
Can Dreama kill him?
And
No,
somebody
no.
has daggers and is stealthy.
Yeah.
in our
Okay,
midst.
just a second, guys. Is there any way that I could just cast heal on?
From the basket?
You could if you could hit him, and also I doubt it would kill him because he's probably got
She
more
can
hit
do a
points.
cone.
But still, how many hit points do we think this guy is, and how many does your heal do?
I think it does
Because
8.
if we don't kill him straight out, then he's going to raise an alarm.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to any of those things.
But our rogue might be able to just hoist him right off of the boat and toss him in the water.
Sneak up behind him and just.
Especially if you have
With
the belt of strength on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you've
You
got the
could
belt
like
of strength.
throw
so-
him down the
Now,
river.
is that still considered? Would that be considered an act of violence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does that ruin the
Invisibility? Yes.
invisibility for you two?
No, as long as we don't get involved.
Okay, so he would just go out of. Well, he doesn't even have to
But
be
he
in
has
the
that,
invisibility.
neck-
Out of dependence,
Yes.
so I'll just grab him, toss him overboard,
Okay. Thank you. I was concerned if you guys had a plan for that. So
and then go straight down, and we'll find out what's in the lower deck.
Let's do it. I feel good about this plan.
okay.
What can,
plan. It's a good plan.
what can go wrong?
Oh, please don't say that.
Okay, Marduk says, okay, it's time.
It's
You're
time.
almost right over top
All right. Let's
of
go.
the ship.
Yeah.
And
I'm so nervous.
as you come up over the top of the ship, Marduk starts to lower the basket down.
I cast invisibility sphere, level 3.
Marduk is trying to lower the basket, and he lowers the basket just as the officer leaves the upper deck again. Let me move the map just a little bit to the left so that we got that on the screen the right way. And sorry, I'm fighting with two screens at the same time.
You're doing great.
I've got to turn you all on now. So, hey, baby. No. Okay. Yes. Let me.
Who's your daddy?
do this. And no, that's not right.
There it was, gone. It's invisible.
People. There, is the basket visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the bomb visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And now you are all visible in the basket.
Okay.
Is that right?
Only
Yeah.
to each other.
So the basket is very slowly now starting to be lowered as you get closer and closer. There's a very slight bump as you touch the deck, and the basket starts to just skid forward a few inches as the ship is overtaking.
Very good.
And
There,
what are
Rob.
the three of you doing?
I'm grabbing the bomb.
He's got the belt. He's grabbing the bomb and jumping off.
And I am jumping out too.
You're
wait,
jumping
the-
out.
the-
We've got
the
the bomb
bomb is
floating on the
also on
tensor
the-
disc.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But we can't move the bomb.
Not yet. Okay, and we're leaving Lavinia and
I shall move the bomb.
You've got to jump your character off. You need to.
I
Your-
have
your
no
map.
control over that right now. I have this black screen.
Just refresh your screen, maybe.
I can probably move you, Rob.
Yeah. Can you?
Click that circly thing. There you go.
You just
that?
miraculously got out of the
Good.
basket.
Tries. It'll refresh.
Yep.
All right. For the folks
So,
In theory.
at home,
can you cast more than one invisibility spell at the same time?
As long as they're not the same spell.
Can you cast it on us so that we can rise up and not be seen?
Well, you're going to be rising up in the basket, which can be seen, so it's not really going to help.
why would you be seen?
They don't look up.
Right. Okay.
There's no reason for them to look up, and also it's
And behind
It's-
and dark. And
it's like right now it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the
And
morning.
there's just a sliver of a moon.
So they would be able to
as
see
these
a
guys are jumping
silhouette.
off, we are already floating away.
Because the ship above you is moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Relative.
Okay.
Marduk has been successful in having the ship come to almost a complete stop, and the basket ends up slowing enough that it's suspended directly above the two officers
Yeah.
that are standing. It's directly above the crates, right beside the two officers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you guys. Now, unfortunately, I have to move the picture first and then you. So just bear with me while I do that and show where you end up being suspended. You end up being suspended right there.
How high
30
are we? Oh,
I'd
sorry.
say you're between 30 and 40 feet
Okay.
above the heads of the officers below you.
Okay.
And all of the guards that are along the railings of the ship are scanning the water and the shorelines. None of them would think to look upwards because there shouldn't be any threat as long as there's no noise to alert them. There's no reason for them to think there's anything above them.
Okay. Thaddeus, I'll follow you.
Okay. Percy, can you take the bomb while I have used the belt on?
Well, if the bomb's on the
I'm
disc.
strength
Bomb's
like
on the
18 or something.
Yeah, bombs on the
So it
disc.
should be able
But
to
Well,
carry
it's
it,
floating on the disc, so you just have to
Oh,
maneuver the
okay,
disc,
so I'm
right?
just
No,
maneuvering the disc.
I have to maneuver the disc.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll stick with you.
Okay.
And you're going to kill the other officer? Or
this guy, the
you're going
guard.
to sneak up on him and kill him?
Okay,
Not the
so
officer, the guard.
just like the map shows right now, if you're looking at the map, you've just gotten off, and just so I understand as the game master what you're doing, you're going down these stairs to attack and kill this guy,
Yep.
and go down these stairs to the next deck below. Is that right?
Are you?
I didn't see.
I thought you
No,
were
no.
tossing him. You were walking up to him and then tossing him.
Yeah, I was
So-
going to. There. it is.
You
Okay.
are going to
Kill that.
When
approach
he's
yes
tossing him
this
off the
guy,
boat.
Yeah.
and right now Raven has got the bomb on the upper deck. Everybody, all these other guys are facing forward, and you guys are completely ignoring this hatch. Wow, amazed.
Well, we did want to go to the officers' quarters.
That's the opposite direction of where they want to go. Like we're trying to go
Okay,
this way.
Totally.
All right then.
We are on a mission, not on a exploration.
Okay, so you're going to try and attack this officer and toss him overboard. Is that right?
Yes. And I'm coming up to him from behind,
You have a belt of strength.
and I
And you remain unnoticed too.
So, as you toss him overboard, and you have no problem doing that, you are successful in doing so. One of the guards hears a splash. Not the rest of the guards, but one of the guards hears a splash. It is the one that is at the forward harpoon station. Here, I'm going to move the big map for you.
I cast illusionary
This-
object.
This guard hears a splash. He does not know what it is, so he starts looking out at the water and scanning back and forth with his undead eyes. Fortunately, he does not have line of sight to this position where the other undead hit the water.
Okay.
So,
I cast a level 2 spell, illusionary object.
okay, you're casting an illusionary object.
Yeah, it's
And
it's,
what
it's
is
not an
that
aggression
object?
action, so I don't think it'll ruin my disc or my invisibility sphere.
I would agree with that.
And I'm going to
It's a
cast
passive.
a replica of this guy we just tossed over in the same spot we just tossed him.
All right.
Nice.
And it can apparently it replicates him close enough that he looks the same and will feel the same.
Have a hero point.
Oh, thank you.
Yay!
Yay. Thanks.
Okay. So after about 15, 20 seconds of scanning the rail of the boat and the water where the suspicious undead at the harpoon station, soldiering dead at the harpoon station above heard the noise, he can't find anything. And so he returns to his station, although he is now slightly cautious, which means if he hears anything else, he will immediately zero in on it. He is not as passive as he was. The rest of them do remain passive because they did not hear the noise. But he is still suspicious and is now listening for anything else in any direction that might be strange.
is Percy
You coming,
staying?
Percy?
Yeah.
I'm with the squishy
Okay.
wizard.
Okay.
Yeah, you just
I-
haven't
I
moved.
am. I
He can't do it. I've
I
got to
can't
do it for
No,
him.
it's
So-
all I have is a black screen.
I'm crouching on the stairs.
Yeah. So
Okay. And you're with me.
I'm moving with you at all times.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead and move, and I will also be moving the bomb, which I should have made the bomb like an actor so that I didn't have to switch to move it. But there we go. The bomb is with you.
So,
Okay.
so they
So-
can see him crouching in front of the stairs and he's hand gesturing.
Well,
and
there's
whatnot to them.
railing and stuff, and I'm also scanning what's in the deck below.
Well, they're at the top of the stairs looking
Yeah.
down at you.
Okay. I'm going to follow you. I whisper, I'm going to follow you. I figured you would. Okay.
Okay. So you are now going down to the next deck.
All three of us are going to the next deck.
Yes.
Okay.
And we no longer
With the
have
bomb.
line of sight of any of them.
As you go down the stairs to the next deck, here is what you see. I will illuminate it for you.
While you're doing that, Dave, just a quick question. Is the airship traveling now at the same
Yes.
speed as the boat? So we are
Yes,
just
you're
hovering right
remaining
over?
pretty much exactly where you want to be.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
So here's what you discover from where you are. This, yeah, why do I, yeah, okay. I'm going to move you guys. Boop. You are here. There's Thaddeus. There's Raven. There is Percy. And there is a bomb. You are now going down the steps on the side. As you go down, you discover that you're on an outside railing on the second deck, and ahead of you there is another guard facing forward or looking outwards. But that guard is standing directly in front of a door. Let me actually illuminate this for you. This is what you can see. That guard is standing in front of a door, guarding it. There is a small portal here that you can see through into the room if you wish to look.
Yes.
Do you wish to look?
Oh gosh, yes.
I thought you would. As you look through, you can immediately see, because of your dark vision, because there's almost no light in the room at all, the light that is in the room is actually emanating from the gems in the chests.
Gems.
You see the gem treasure room. You see that the inside of the room, from the angle that you can see, has got, from your point of view, you can see 6 guards in the room and about 5 or 6 chests and some crates and some other things and some piles of weapons and that kind of stuff.
Do we see any stairs down?
As you look in the room, and you've got time to look, it looks like there are 2 doors. There are 4 doors into the room. There is and each of those doors, except for the very back door, is guarded by has got a guard standing either right beside it or right in front of it. Is it showing up on the screen okay for everybody to see? Here, I'll clean this up a little more.
I whispered to my companions, I don't think we can get through all those guys. And what does that do for us? Gets us to the next guy down. What does
Hey.
that do for us?
Okay, so you're whispering, but for the microphones, you speak loud enough that we can hear what the hell you're saying. So what is it you want to? What do you say in your whispery voices?
I'm whispering, I don't think we can get through those guys.
Not the ones in the room, but maybe we can take them one at a time on the deck and find another way down
You
to a
know,
lower.
there was that hatch. We could double back and see if we can use it, or at least look down it.
I vote we go back and look down the hatch.
The hatch?
Yeah.
I think it might be worth it.
And we can take out the 4 guys on deck anyway.
Well, we don't need to if they didn't see us or they're not aware.
I want to.
All right.
Let's do it
So
on our
are
way
you
out.
all going to go back up the hatch? Are you? I'll go back up the stairs and check the rear deck, or is it just going to be
Isn't
some
it
of
about
you?
time for one of the officers to do his routine check?
I don't know.
We'll see
Well, he
when we
hasn't
get
gone
up.
past. Yeah.
Let's do it quick though.
Too quick. Let's go.
Okay.
Back
Well,
up.
you have your invisibility sphere happening anyways,
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And he's got his token or whatever.
His corpse word pendant.
Okay, let's do it. We don't have a whole lot of time left on the invisibility sphere, so
Right.
we gotta.
Let's
Be
let's
our
get this
thing.
going.
Okay, Andrema sits on my shoulder this whole time.
And is really quiet.
Fortunately, we had a chat.
Okay. Well, then you go back up the stairs to the upper deck. I've got to, we got that in the right place. Let me pull it over a little bit more. And I will move Rob and the rest of you over to where you need to be.
Still
I
haven't come back.
wonder why machines are so useless for me today.
And Lavinia and I see these
Thaddeus?
boys come back up this. Well, we see Thaddeus. We can't see the other guys, and we're just like, uh oh, what happened?
Yeah, that's a good point. Josephine and Lavinia can see you coming back up, and they're starting to get very concerned.
I do this.
We can't see you.
Oh, right. They can see us. We're invisible. Okay.
Okay, just a second. With my cantrip of message, can I message to one of them and they're able to respond back to me?
Yes, and you can do it silently because it's line of sight.
Yeah.
If you can see one of them.
Yeah.
You can see Thaddeus. I whisper to you, and you because you're whispering to me.
If you're close enough.
Yeah.
That's
It should be.
Yeah.
We're about 30 feet above,
she's
and
got
then
60
another
foot dark
30
vision.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, the message, you don't have a problem with message at this distance.
And so I just think to Thaddeus, what's going on?
Uh,
Thaddeus just answers me in his brain
120
because he can.
There were a lot of soldiers on the next deck down, so we're just trying the hatch, see if that gets us anywhere.
Thank you.
Is it locked?
Are you at the hatch?
Yeah.
So you've gone to the hatch?
Yep.
And it's not locked at all.
Okay.
It's just a big wooden trap door over top of the hatch.
I'm checking the hinges to see how rusty they are.
You look at the hinges, and yeah, they are a little bit rusty. Do you want to try and lift them?
I want to lubricate them.
But Percy thinks, hey, let's lubricate them. All right. So
And he's wearing the belt of amazing strength.
It's not that; it's the noise.
It's the noise.
Oh, right.
Do you
No,
have
it's
oil?
rusty hinges.
Do you have oil? I have oil.
You have oil? Let's do it.
Okay. I'll use some of my oil.
okay, so Raven pours some oil on the hinges.
Yes.
And who's going to try and now lift the hatch
Thaddeus
lid?
wants to
Thaddeus?
lift the hatch, yeah.
And then
As you lift it, it makes a little squeak, but it's not loud enough to carry to the center of the next deck.
Okay. Then
When you lift the hatch, what you see is actually on the other map.
Yep.
You see a black open hatchway going down, and there is a ladder that you can go down. It is completely dark. There's no light whatsoever. You look down in there with your dark vision and you can't see anything. It is a pitch black square vertical passageway with ladder rungs going downwards.
So just a really quick question. If anything goes kind of goofy here, shall we start throwing things at them on the upper deck, or, like be prepared for that so that it draws people?
Yeah, I want to give them some time. I imagine that we will be able to see when they jump off.
Yeah.
And then we can start throwing stuff. Like, let's not,
Yeah, I think
especially
let's-
with our colleagues on board.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Okay. I want to lead the way because I am the toughest.
And I'll go beside you.
Okay. I will
Do you
lead
want
the
some
way.
light?
If you can,
we'll take
Wait,
that.
and you've got everyone's got goggles and night vision and
but
stuff.
Well,
that's
it's too
not
dark.
working. He said, even with night vision,
Oh,
it's
shoot.
pitch black down there.
But do you really want
Thaddeus,
Sorry,
roll
I can't.
perception.
I'm not there with them.
Ah! Darn.
Did you roll
We'll play for a
perception?
while. Yeah, he's looking for what his perception bonus is.
Yeah. 12 in total.
No, it isn't.
Gonna be a do-over.
Oh,
Roll again.
if I could
Okay,
turn
so
back
Raven
time.
turns back time with his special ability. Thaddeus rolls again.
12. What? However, I have a. Let's try that again.
He's got to try it again. Oh my God,
Okay,
you guys are
well,
using up all your do-overs.
All right.
That's better. 21.
Yay.
After Thaddeus lifts up the door and looks down into the dark, he listens and he can hear one set of scraping footsteps move every once in a while in the space directly below him.
One thing moving.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, but only you though, so we don't lose our invisibility if we can avoid it.
Okay.
Are you going to cast a light?
Don't look at me about casting.
Well, a torch. I don't have any spells prepared for light,
Oh.
unless I have a scroll. I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. So it's going to have to be a torch.
Do you have a torch with you?
I believe I do.
Do you need a torch?
We are not with them.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, you can't give them a torch. Well, you could throw it from the basket if you get a message from
No.
Thaddeus in your
You could fire a
brain.
flaming arrow at me. Or like,
I'm sure nobody's going to notice a giant light source like that
no.
filling the darkness.
Not
Cast light
suggesting
on
anything.
Draymond, send
Don't
I can't
metagame
even,
Hint,
I can't
hint,
even
hint.
voice my
That's-
concern,
Honey, that's
right
a
now
hint for
because
everybody else.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a very bad idea for.
Yeah, I can't help you with any spells. You'll need to fire up a torch
I got a torch.
or a
I got a torch.
lantern. A lantern would be better.
Oh yeah, I've got a lantern, hooded lantern.
Because we have the ones you can close the
Don't
lid
you
to.
have-
Yeah,
doors.
I've got a hooded lantern.
Okay, so and your fantastic goggles that you have, this is too dark for them.
I
Yes.
guess so.
You guys sure you don't want to send me, the tougher guy, ahead with the lantern? Because
you
I
can't.
Okay,
step
wait, just
away
hang
from
on a
them.
minute.
Sorry. I'm
If
not
you step
playing.
away from
I'm
them
not
and
playing.
below the
Mr.
invisibility.
Lexium, would you give your pendant to
there you are.
Mr. Red Feather to use?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Don't screw it up.
I won't screw it up. Okay,
Don't
I'm
lose it.
So Raven passes his corpse ward pendant to
You give me the lantern.
Percy,
Yeah.
and Thaddeus gives Percy a bullseye lantern. Am I right about that? It's a bullseye lantern,
Well, it says
a
hooded lantern.
hooded lantern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's all right then.
And I bravely crawl into the belly of the beef.
Okay, so as Percy starts to descend the stairs, I'm going to clean up the. This is what he sees in the very dim light of the bullseye lantern. It appears that he's in some kind of storage area. It looks like most of the food is completely untouched. The boat has been commandeered by the undead from some living who are using this area for food. There, is it all showing up?
Yep.
Okay. There is one, what must be the captain, facing the other direction over the table. And in this case, you can't tell from the back whether it is a living captain or an undead captain. But based on his garb, you're pretty sure it's a captain. And he is, in fact, eating something from the table. He's got his back to you, and he hasn't noticed the dim light because you are using the hooded lantern. If you had used any other light source at all going down into that room, I would have said that it would have instantly alerted him. But he hasn't noticed because his back is to you as you are going down. Now, here's the thing. As you look around the room and you look, let me get this. As you look around the room and you look below you, the stairs continue down through the open hatchway that is in the floor of this deck to the bilge deck below.
So we carry on then down the deck.
There's just a little bit of a railing with kind of a gate on it that's around the edge of this so that nobody accidentally walks into it on this deck. But the hatch from above is a direct vertical access right down to the deck below this deck.
Okay.
All right. Well, I continue on down.
You can speak louder than that.
I continue on down.
He says in
Okay.
a whispered voice.
And I assume I've got the bomb now.
You've
Well,
got the
I'm
bomb.
Are you following him?
Oh gosh,
I'm
yes.
following
Yep.
him with my
Yep.
disc.
Oh, okay.
Will the disc fit in this portal? Or
That's a
this-
2 feet across.
It's 2
It's
feet
2
across?
feet, and this is the 3-foot hatch.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah. So just
So you're all going to continue down while he is eating whatever he's eating,
quietly.
and you're not going to disturb him at all. Have I
No.
got that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue down to the next deck, I'm going to move over the map because there is, in fact, a third deck here. You'll see that there is just a glowing purple, very dim purple light glowing up to you from this lower deck. As you pass through the hatchway from the middle deck where the captain's chamber is, without him noticing, you find yourself coming down into some type of bilge area, and there is some type of mechanical sounds coming from a partitioned off room to the left. There's a giant shaft going across that is turning, and apparently is the axle that's got some kind of thing that turns the paddle wheel. And you find yourself in an area where there's a lot of garbage and a lot of refuse, and it's stinky, and there's a little bit of purple haze from the smell, and you are now in the very belly of the beast. You end up at the bottom of the ladder, standing right on the keel of the bulkhead, the keel of the thing. You were at the very bottom of the entire ship.
Is this a good place to put a bomb?
I'd
It's
say
an excellent
if-
place to put a bomb because it's also in proximity to the
To the
wheel
axle. Yeah.
that steers, that propels the ship. So we may even do damage to that.
But I have a question. Is that steel plating?
As you look at it, as you touch it, it is not steel plating.
Okay, good.
I mean, this graphic shows that, but it's just
Yeah.
wood.
All right. In that case, we will leave the bomb here and go.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to leave the bomb here.
Yes.
You've got a vertical ladder that you'll have to go up 2 decks
Yeah.
to get out.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to light it.
Okay. So there's no other light source around here, right? So we can light a candle and give it to Drema, who has manual dexterity, because that's a feature I gave her for this. Okay, Drema, are you okay with this, buddy? Give us the count to give us a count of what do you think? 20? 10? We got to climb up this ladder. She can fly up this ladder, so she
The
can go
fuse
quick.
also has a certain amount of time.
What did we say the fuse was?
45 seconds, I think it was.
Yeah, that's mentioned.
Maximum.
Max.
30
Maximum.
for sure. 30 for
Maximum.
sure
30,
you have.
Let's say 30.
45 you might have, but no guarantee.
Yeah.
Okay, how about a count to 20? What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, Drema, you count to 20, and then you take this candle and you light that fuse. Can you do that? Good girl, I love you. Okay,
Now, one of the things, all 3 of you roll perception.
Rob, I'll check your perception
18.
for you.
I got it.
Oh,
27.
mine's 18,
It may not be as noticeable to
16.
Raven and to Thaddeus, but Percy can definitely smell that because of all the garbage and refuse
Oh.
and sewer water that is in this bilge. There's definitely a sewer gas smell emanating
oh, nice.
from in here.
So it might be flammable.
It might be ever so slightly flammable. Start.
Okay, well, change of plan here.
No.
Well, there could be. Why don't we leave the bomb straight below us? We climb up and then I fireball it from the top of the stair.
That works too.
Sure.
That's
Let's do
kind
that.
of what I thought we were going to do, but okay.
Okay. Well, we didn't know where we were going to put it, but if we have a line
Yeah.
of sight.
As long as the disc isn't under it, it should be fine. All right.
Okay.
dismiss the disc.
So this, I wish to apologize to everybody at home, but this is the game master being evil because we're going to leave it right here on this cliffhanger for tonight. Our alarm went off 15 minutes ago, but I wanted to give you guys a chance.
Yes.
So you've got now a
We have
week,
to, yes.
depending on who's gone and when.
Lavinia is gone next week.
I'm gone next 2 weeks.
Me too.
You're both gone the next 2 weeks?
Well, I am. If you are, yeah. You too?
All right. So
Can they
let's,
Zoom call in maybe or no?
I'll tell you what, we can postpone until then if you want to take a 2-week break. I have no problem with that. Let me go and get the calendar. I'm
What
going to
a
just.
cruel thing to do to everybody.
Dear Lord.
What an exciting
on the
time to
edge
leave it,
of the
though.
Yeah, I mean, cliffhangers always
Yeah.
Same bad time, the same bad channel.
Yeah.
Tune in next week when our brave heroes will fiercely defy death by
3 weeks.
escaping from an exploding ship.
3 weeks.
Okay.
Not next week.
So is it on the back screen?
3
It
weeks
isn't.
from
Why
now.
the hell
Yeah.
isn't it?
Tune in 3 weeks from now. As I was
Oh,
correct
I
about
cast it. I cast it to the living room TV. Derp. Is it on there now? Yes. Okay, so here's our calendar, and it's the 26th today. So March 5th, 12th, 19th.
19.
Everybody's 19. We're going to play on the March 19th.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
Okay, that'll be the next one. It'll be March 19th, and we will pick it right back up at then, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for everyone who watched tonight. We appreciate you.
And thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Dave.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
I cannot believe you dodged the bullet twice. You dodged the bullet when you threw that guy in the water. And you also dodged the bullet because you didn't try and enter the treasure room, which would have been
That
death.
would have been all kinds of.
And you
Yeah,
dodged
kinds
the
of
bullet
madness.
with the hooded lantern because I thought for sure you guys were going to cast a light going down there and alert that captain, which you don't know if he's alive or dead, but I guess you'll find out in the next one.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's going to, if he's not already dead, he's going to be dead after that bomb goes
we
off.
we could be face to skull with a prime adversary. Be very nasty.
Face to skull. That's a nice phrase.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a
Thanks, guys.
good
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you.
We
Good
will
night,
be back
everybody.
in 3 weeks. Hopefully you'll catch up with us and we'll see what the story and how the story unfolds then. And you guys have now got 3 weeks to think about how you're going to get out of the very end of this whole attack on the ship. All right, everyone, have
Cool
have a
game.
great
Cool
couple of
game.
weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.